What's happening, everybody? Testing, check one, two, three. Matthew Allen with Adjuster TV here, and trying to set up the little live stream. And looks like we started anyway. So, computers, the bane of my existence. Anyway, I just want to jump on here really quick. I noticed that there was actually a considerable amount of hail, wind and hail yesterday. There was my sister lives kind of northern side of Dallas Fort Worth area, and she sent me a text saying that there was. She always does this whenever there's hail or whatever, but she said there was huge hail right outside my house or right down the street or whatever. And then I got on the storm reports at NOAA. So if you do a Google search for yesterday's storm reports, the first thing that comes up is it says like spc.noaa.gov or something like that, and you want to find yesterday's storm reports, and that shows you all of the reports of wind and hail and tornadoes for going back for as long as they were keeping records, starting with yesterday, right? So it doesn't include today. They're compiling today's. But yesterday I was looking at it, and I don't know if a lot of these are direct hits, but there was definitely storms in the area on the south side of Denver where they had 1.5 inches hail in near Amarillo. Definitely north side of Dallas, which is like Flower Mound, Lewiston, Carrollton, et cetera, et cetera. And then near Memphis, near Nashville, and then a bunch of scattered wind reports all over this kind of the southeast. Right? I can't sit here and say, well, there's been this much work or that much work or whatever generated by that, because it's hard to know, especially since it happened yesterday. But there's stuff going on. This is, the middle of June, we're getting in the middle of June. And, this is the hail storm season. The spring wind hail season started up a few weeks ago. And it's only a matter of time before we really get into hurricane season, right? I think that started June 1st, right? So it's been a couple of weeks since that started. And it's traditionally, it's quiet until I would say end of July, middle of August, into the absolute peak of hurricane season is going to be the middle of September. It's been that way for as long as we've been keeping records on it. And I don't see any reason why that would change. So, and that's when most landfalling storms hit, cause damage, et cetera. And obviously, we have slow years, kind of quieter years, and then we have years that go gangbusters. Like 2020 was a gangbuster year, I think. There were 20 storms that I think, something like that made landfall. It was a lot. Really unprecedented year. Last year, a little bit more quiet with only really 2 main storms, I think, that really hit. But as insurance adjusters, especially as independent claims adjusters, we have the expectation that, if we're going to be doing catastrophe work, that the catastrophes happen when they happen, and they don't happen. If they're not going to happen, it's, we have to be like, all right, well, it just didn't happen this year. Let me do some more daily or do some more of this, that, or the other thing. But the main reason I came on here was to announce that, or to let you know, if you didn't already know, that there's only a few days left to register for my free masterclass, which is the fastest way to claims work. And I've got one on Thursday and one on Friday. Both those are live, so you can ask questions or whatever, but have a big Q&A at the end. And we're going to go over, all the things that you need to do in order to be sort of like deployable, right? So it's kind of the objective of that particular live masterclass. We'll also be talking about the Fast Track to Deployment program, which will be opening the doors to on Thursday, I believe. So we'll be pretty much announcing it to anybody that comes. I'm announcing it now, actually. But when you'll get all the details, you can ask all the questions you want to ask. You'll find out all the bonuses and the benefits to that particular program, how that certification works, who honors it, and then what maybe some of the experiences of previous students or current students, certified grads from that particular program. Which again, not to go too long on you, but that particular program was developed in partnership with the biggest kind of heavy hitter IA firms in the industry. I basically took the question to them. I was like, listen, if an adjuster was going to show up on your doorstep, ready to go, what things do they need to have like in hand, like locked in as far as like their mindset, their skill set, their gear set, all that stuff. And they told me, and that's what I built that program around. That program tests you so that it's, it's not just that you go, you say that you paid for it and you maybe watch some of the videos or all the videos or whatever, and then that's like you're certified. That's not how it works. You don't get a certificate of completion. You get tested. So it's a certification that tests, it gives you a demonstrated proficiency saying, not only did you, were you exposed to all this information that you sat in class and you learned it, but that you're able to put it into practice. And there's a big, kind of like a knowledge concepts exam part. And then there's a practical where you actually get to work on some claims, go through a file review process. And then once we're satisfied that's clicked with you and you got it, and that I would be comfortable putting you on my team as a store manager, then I hand you off to my partner firms and say, hey, Amy Smith has knocked it out of the park in the program. She did really well. This is the score she got on the exam. Here's how she did on the practical part. She's ready to go. She's ready to be fast tracked through your onboarding process and kind of move to the front of the line for any deployments where you can send new people, right? And then that's really the key to this whole thing. It's not a guarantee of work. There's nobody can guarantee work, especially with cat work, because it is, like as we just saw, it's just dependent on the weather. But it is, a lot of the companies do have requirements where they want to bring fresh people in, and you get to be moved to the front of that line because you've got demonstrated proficiency, and a big part of that is not just having Xactimate level 1 or level 2 certification, which you can get out of this program, that you have software proficiency, but also that you have your mind right about how to really manage yourself, manage your claims, manage your time, how to scope efficiently without missing damage, how to document all that in your photos and build a photo report that'll, in a file overall that will fly through file review, which is the gatekeeper to you getting paid, right? As well as how to write your estimates clearly and concisely, and then how to write your activity diary and everything else that that goes to support that and to tell the story of the claim, right? And then it teaches you what to do every hour of every day when you're on your first CAT deployment, to give you that foundation so that in case it is total and complete chaos, it's Hurricane Andrew level, it's Hurricane Katrina level disaster, which these things happen. And when they do, there aren't a lot of resources because everybody's hair is on fire and everybody's running in every single direction and they're running into each other, right? If you don't have this foundational knowledge, either from me or from somebody, if you have some sort of a mentor, then you're going to be running around with your hair on fire, running into the walls and falling down and screaming and yelling, right? Whereas if you have a plan, a battle plan, an action plan to know what to do, like I said, every hour of every day, like every single whole day of your whole deployment, what am I doing at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 2.5 weeks in, this is what you're doing, right? You're closing claims, you're making money, and you can be standalone. If the resources, well, we couldn't get the truck that had all the stuff in it for the help room broke down on the way down, or whatever, there's no help room, right? Then if you don't have any knowledge, you don't know how to do this, then you're dead in the water, you're sunk. Then you're pretty much, it's hard to recover from everything not going exactly perfectly, right? So nothing is going to go exactly perfectly. So you have to be prepared. And the way you prepare yourself is to learn how to do this beforehand and know what's expected of you on every part of the claim. Know how to use exact analysis, right? They may say, well, I would just put in exact analysis. If you've never heard of exact analysis, you have to ask that person, and they say, well, I'll go find the IT person. Then you spend the next 6 hours trying to track down somebody who can explain what exact analysis is, right? You don't want to do that. Show up trained, right? We talk about this all the time. So all that said, just wanted to remind you again, I really encourage you to attend that masterclass. It's Thursday and Friday, I'm pretty sure, but the link to register for this thing is adjustertv.com/masterclass. and it's totally free. And then you have an opportunity to hear at the end of that a lot more detail about the fast track to deployment certification program. And if you're so inclined, you're welcome to stick around for that and answer any questions that you have about any part of this, right? Licensing, Xactimate, scoping, should you do W-2 or 1090? You can ask all those questions, and we're happy to answer them. It's one of the sort of the signatures of Adjuster TV since I founded this, was that if you're new to this and you go into social media or you go into a forum or you come to a live stream where somebody like me is talking and you ask a question that's been asked 5,000 times before, I'm going to answer it with as much enthusiasm and, respect for you as the very first person that ever asked that to me as you, right? So that's I think one of the things that separates Adjuster TV is that we understand that just because you just found this 3 weeks ago or 3 months ago or yesterday or whatever, that you shouldn't be treated with disdain or like talked down to or kind of kicked around in the comments because you asked a question that everybody always asks. And it's like, that's why I have this channel here is to help new people get their minds right about this, decide if it's for you, right? And then to teach you how to build a foundation for a really great career that can give you an uncommon income and give you the opportunity to help people in times of disaster to help them recover, right? Which is counterintuitive to what you hear in the news and what people talk about, the conventional wisdom about insurance, but that's what our job is, right? So check it out at adjustertv.com/masterclass. Again, it's a free live masterclass. There's 2 sessions. So if you can't make the one, you can make the other one. If you signed up for one and you're like, shoot, I got to do the other one, just jump back in, sign up for the other one and ignore the emails from the first one. It's not a big deal. It's not, and if you can't make it, right, if it just so happens that you can't attend one of those sessions, something comes up, there'll be a replay. You'll get an email with a replay link in it. It's good for at least 24 hours, I think. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And if you got questions, go to adjustertv.com/contact and shoot me an email. Otherwise, bring your questions to the live stream at adjustertv.com/masterclass, and we will catch you then. So I'm going to try to figure out how to turn this thing off I'm just going to try to figure out how to turn it off. So see you guys later.